Peggy 16.
Hello Guardians, welcome back to Right Way Gaming, and today is another day of Destiny Talk Time. So I'm going to open up with, well, you're not going to guess this time. This week at Bungie, they revealed the beta trailer. That's right, they finally revealed the beta trailer, announcing the dates and etc. So basically they start out by talking about reiterating the fact that the beta is a test, so you may encounter issues, and if you do, report them, because that's what the beta is for. It is to finalise any last minute glitches that are found, and since it's going to be open to the masses, chances are there's going to be some that do arise. Anyways, they go on to basically say that we will get to participate in the homecoming mission. We all knew this, but we will finally get to see it for ourselves, meaning we'll get to see more of it. What we didn't get to see what's covered at the current events that people have attended. They then go on to talk about Countdown, which is an attack or defend base game, which we knew about again because we've seen it, but we get to play it for ourselves, obviously during the beta. Then they announce the fact that there will also be control this time round in the beta, but there has been some impactful changes to this game mode apparently. Control zones on another new map built with this objective in mind. That don't really reveal much about what changes they've made, but they are saying that now game modes are going to be built around maps that are a bit made for them basically. They then go on to say that we'll get access to the Inverted Spire. Again, we kind of knew about this, reiterating that there will be matchmaking for people that are on their own, so you don't need a fire team if you don't have one, which is probably good, because I'm assuming at the events that it wasn't like that. You were just pre-med groups, whoever you're closest to. They then go on to say that you will get access to the new subclasses, being the Dawnblade, Arcstrider and Sentinel class, as well as getting access to the Striker subclass, the Golden Gun and the Nova Bomb, which we all know and we would love to see the changes to, so again we'll get our hands on that. They then go on to mention that we will get access to the farm for 1 hour and 1 hour only on the July the 23rd at 10 AM Pacific, but it will only to be kick the football into the back of the net and to play with the chickens and make friends, because most of the vendors will be offline. The fact that they say most says to me that, well, I'm assuming the Postmaster is going to be available, and maybe the Cryptarch, just so we can interact with the engrams and stuff that we earn from as rewards. It then says that their goals will be to see how many of us it can accommodate on the servers. Basically, stress testing the servers during a heavy time. Kind of like how when the tower used to be full, they would have got the 30 players in the tower idea from somewhere, and it's from these sort of stress tests where they do. They then go on to talk about how there will be no clan support, so that feature won't be active as part of the beta. They talk about character progression. Nothing that you do during this game will represent how your character will be progressing when the full game is released. It is simply a test, and they will be giving, I'm assuming, certain pieces of armour to us that we won't get during the game, and maybe they'll be tweaked. Something along them lines. It then also says character continuity, so basically saying anything you earn or anything you do during this beta will not carry over to the full game release onto your character. You will start fresh, you will make a new character, and you will have to re-earn it all. But it does state for every rule there is an exemption, and then they go on to the Destiny 2 beta emblem. So for participating in the beta, you will get an emblem, and it does look pretty nice, if I'm honest. So if you want that, just play in the beta, whether it's for an hour or 2 hours, and you'll get yourself that emblem up on the full release. They then talk about the release dates for the beta, which if you don't already know by now, then you should be ashamed. I'm only joking, some people don't know, but you know. So for PlayStation 4, it begins the 18th of July. For Xbox One, it starts on the 19th of July. Bloody PlayStation. And on the 21st, it opens up to everyone as an open beta on both consoles. The PC beta won't be till late August. And The July beta for both consoles will end on the 23rd when we get access to the farm. I'm assuming when the farm closes down, the beta will end. Right, that is pretty much it. I don't want to talk about anything this week at Bungie because it doesn't interest me whatsoever. So I'm going to talk about the IGN interview with Luke Smith. Now, they talked about a load of blab about how they want to build a game with community, they want new players to bring in, which is why they started Destiny 2 instead of building new patches. But there was one specific thing that everybody's jumping on that he mentioned, and that was the fact that there will be game modes with locked loadouts. Now, my opinion on this is clever, interesting, gonna be a bit of a mixed view. But I think it's a step in the right direction, because if you think about it, you go into a raid with 7, 8, 9 weapons, knowing that you're going to slaughter every boss that you're going to come up against. For example, Golgoroth, you're going to use Black Spindle. You know, you come up against Oryx, you're going to use Touch of Malice and various other weapons to just basically give yourself infinite ammo. When we did VOG for the first time, everybody would use Gjallarhorn that had it, meaning that you just destroy Atheon. This means you're going to have to think a little bit more about that. You're going to have to choose your 3 weapons and you're going to stick with them. So if one of them doesn't work during one of the bosses in a raid, don't bring it. You're going to want to use all-round weapons, weapons that you know you can use in every situation for your mission ahead. Yeah, for sure, first time you run through it, you're probably going to get it wrong. And that's what I like about this. It's forcing you to learn rather than people telling you what to use. You're going to have to figure that out for yourself. And more than likely in a raid team, you're going to need 2 or 3 people with different weapons rather than all of you using the same ones, meaning you get to a certain boss and you end up stranded. Whether this locked loadout affects the full week, that's going to be interesting to see. For example, if you go into the raid on your hunter with an auto rifle, a hand cannon and a rocket launcher, and you get to a boss where you're inside a bubble and can't use a rocket launcher, if you back out of that raid and go back in it, does it still lock them weapons? That's what I'm going to be interested to see and see how that works. But other than that, the only thing they really focused on is how they've got a vision on how they want to move forward with this game and how they want it to be a community feeling, and they don't want people to be going into things without a purpose. Everything in Destiny has a purpose. They've even said that there's going to be little hints on what you should do next. The game will give you hints on what to do next to progress. You can of course do what you want, but the game will say, here, this gives you the biggest rewards, sort of thing. Whether you can do it or not is the next question. Anyways guys, that is it from me. Tomorrow we have another video from IGN, but it will be, I don't think it's going to be anything special. It's going to be our first impressions. So whether that's IGN's impressions or Bungie's impressions, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll find out tomorrow. And I will definitely cover it. But then after that, there is nothing for the rest of the weekend, because the next reveal is on the 10th of July and it's a PvP one. Hope you've enjoyed watching, guys. Don't forget to drop a like, a message, or even subscribe. Right Way Gaming, over and out.